Hello and welcome back. So let's continue. This lesson is going to introduce complete beginners how to set up a GitHub account. This is basically the area in the cloud where you will back up your code from your local computer to a safe place in case you lose it on your local computer. So if you don't yet have a GitHub account, go over to this URL, github.com, and just follow the instructions for sign up with your email. And if you have one already, sign in. And just so you guys can take a look what it looks like once you've set up a couple of repositories. In my case, I have 55 repositories, and you'll have an entry for each of them, and it will show you various information about it. But for beginners, I'm just going to show you the basic commands that you need to commit your code, push your code to GitHub, and make sure that you understand how it works from a beginner's perspective. So in lesson 7, we're going to learn how to save your work with Git and GitHub. The learning objectives are explain in plain English what Git and GitHub each do, initialize a Git repository inside your project, make your first commit and push it to a new GitHub repository. You're also going to recognize what a .gitignore file is for. So right now your site lives in your computer, like I said. So if you spilled coffee on your laptop, your work would be gone. This lesson sets up the safety net to protect against uneventful issues like that. Git versus GitHub, the one-line difference. So Git is a tool that's installed on your computer. It records every change to your project as a commit, like an unlimited save game system. While GitHub is an online service that stores a copy of your Git history so you can access it anywhere and Vercel can also read it. You will make commits with Git locally, and then you push them to your GitHub account online. Now, if you have followed along with the course so far in the previous lessons, you might have noticed that when we did the npx create next app, it set up a Git repository inside our project folder for us already. If you missed that, just use the git init command from a terminal window. And if you're not sure how to do that, just ask your agent to initialize the repository for you. You can also do it manually in VS Code yourself if you want. But actually what I'm going to do is take you guys through the commands that you would type yourself, but also show you how nowadays we can just tell the agent to help us do a commit, a push, a merge, a PR, that's a pull request, and so on. Those are the essentials that you will use every day. There are many more advanced commands that you can use in the GitHub ecosystem, but my suggestion is to ask your agent when you need them if you think you've broken something and you're not sure how to get back to a safe starting. So if this is the very first time you use Git, you should go through these steps here for the Git config. Give it your username, give it your email, the same that you used for signing up. And then in step 2, you can run on terminal your Git status. I made a course that you can copy this command. So you just open a terminal like this and you can type git status, for example. And then it might tell you that there's some untracked files or not. It depends on the situation. So if there are files in red, these are the changes that you've made, all of them, since nothing has been committed yet in your case. In my case, maybe a few documents. So the list does not include node modules that we installed because .gitignore is doing its job. So if you remember, gitignore is where we specify what to exclude from the commit. It includes things like your environment variables, your sensitive keys, your API secrets, and any node modules and other related system files that you don't need because Vercel can recreate them when it does the build. The basic commands to add something to your repository is to use the git add dot, or then committing it. It's like saying save it here now in this local folder, git commit -m and a message, first version of my personal site, for example. So in plain English, you do git add dot, get ready to save all the changes I've made. The dot means everything in the current folder. Git commit -m and a message, save them with this short note describing what changed. It's always good to put a note what you've changed. And then in step 3, if you don't have a GitHub repository, that's the remote one in the cloud, you can follow these instructions. And you must decide if this is public or private. So if you want to share it with the public, meaning your source code, not your site, don't confuse that. So your application might be public in Vercel, but your repository or your source code on GitHub might be private because you don't want to show people how you built it. Then you would follow these steps. So you would do like git remote add origin and your username, whatever your site is, git branch minus m from the main branch, and git push minus u origin main. That's all the updated files. Now, what I suggest you do is you take these commands and you ask the agent what do they do without doing it. So the agent will also show you then how this works. And then you can ask him, can you do this for me? I want to save my changes in the remote repository, or I want to reverse what I've done, or somebody has done a pull request, and so on. Just a note on the authentication. So the first time you push, Git will ask GitHub to verify that it's really you. The cleanest path on a personal computer is the browser window will open for you to log into your GitHub. So you just log in and approve it. If for any reason the browser does not open, GitHub will print a token URL. Visit it, sign in, and paste the code shown. After authentication, the push will complete. You can then refresh your GitHub repository page in the browser. You should now see your project files listed there. So typically what you do, the workflow is that you check what is your Git status, you add something, then you commit something, and then you push it remotely. So just remember this. You can also use this shortcut here to copy. So let's do this together. I'm going to copy it. And then finally, we'll do a push to remote. I'm not going to do a push, but you would just hit enter at this point. Then if you want to make sure, you can do another git status to see nothing to commit, working tree is clean. The working tree clean means that all your files is now in sync with the commit. And if you've done the push, then it will also be in sync on the GitHub cloud. So you only need git push without the -u origin main part for every push after the first one. Visit your GitHub page and confirm the change has appeared. And a quick review of some common mistakes: adding a license, a README, or a .git ignore from GitHub when you're creating your repository causes a non-fast forward error on first push. If this happened, the cleanest fix is to just delete the GitHub repo and create it again, this time empty. You might sometimes forget to commit before pushing, so git push only sends committed changes. Remember that you can't push before you commit. Committing with a vague message like I updated my stuff, that will not be very useful if you troubleshoot and want to know what is my stuff. Future you will not remember what it was. Trying to push a folder that is not a Git repository from inside the folder git status should not say not a Git repository. If it does, remember to run git init for git initialize first. So I will show you in VS Code how it looks like and how we can talk to the agent about these commands and how we can tell the coding agent to do these things for you. So if you don't feel like doing or learning the Git commands, you don't have to. You just have to use this overview to understand the process in general terms. So you're going to try this on your own by running the one-time git config commands with your name and email. You're going to make your first commit with the message first version of my personal site. You're going to create a public GitHub repository named after your project with no extra files added. Then you're going to push your code and files, confirm the files appear on the GitHub page, make a tiny change, commit it again, push it again, confirm the change appears on GitHub with GitHub status, and so on. Go through the preparation for the quiz, try to take the quiz on your own, and as soon as you think you're ready, then continue with the next lesson. So although you can work from the command line, just as a reminder, I like to use the VS Code editor, so I will just type code dot and enter. That will load up the integrated development environment for VS Code that we learned to install. And if you haven't discovered this yet, this is your source control where you can see and keep track of what files are changing, what are the outgoing changes, what branch you're working in our case, the main branch. If you don't feel like you want to directly submit changes to your main branch, you can tell the agent to create it in a work tree branch or a sub branch, and then you can decide if the changes doesn't break anything to merge them with the main branch. So merge is a concept that you'll soon learn is a safe way of making changes. Like the branches of a tree, you experiment there first, and if you're happy with the result, you merge them with the main branch by doing a pull request. If all this sounds a little uncertain still for you, let me show you a little trick what you can do. So you can do something similar, whatever you want. So we're telling Claude Code here, can you create a beginner-friendly HTML page under our docs folder as Git and GitHub workflow cheat sheet for beginners? Show it like a table with Git command, the purpose, and comments in the third column. Make it interactive so that users can copy or paste the command they want to use back to you, but make sure they understand the workflow of making these changes, committing, pushing, pull request, merging, how to revert, the basics of everyday development work. Okay, let's see what he comes up with. I may have to add a little tweak here and there, but he should get most of it right. So we'll check back in a few minutes when he's done, but already we can see he's going to create an HTML file that's hypertext markup language, which is the same as your landing page, but this is a standalone file to show us the cheat sheet. So while he's doing that, I might point out, since this effort is a very easy task, we could have saved some tokens by downgrading the effort to medium and even disable the thinking. He doesn't need to think a lot for this kind of task. Okay, so he's ready to create a file for us. We're going to say yes, go ahead. And it's ready. So let's take a look. Also read the comments he provides after work. So he's giving us the mental model diagram, working directory, staging, local repo, remote. So beginners understand where their changes live. There's 10 sections in the order someone actually learns. You set up the daily loop, the branches, the push-pull workflow, the pull request and merging. How do you undo mistakes, your history? What is stashing, getting unstuck? So let's go and see what it looks like. What I like to do, normally, we can see first of all that this is a new file and we actually have to commit this. You can click here, but let's not do this at the moment. Let's go look here. And then we told them to put it under the docs folder. And there it is. So what I'm going to do is right click. You can open with Edge if you have Edge in your browser. You can also reveal it in Explorer. So let's do it this way. It opened it up on my other screen. So I'll just bring it up like this and then double click it. And there we have it. Git and GitHub for everyday work. A friendly reference for the commands you actually use day to day. Editing files, committing your changes, pushing to GitHub, opening pull request, merging, and politely undoing mistakes. So this is very comprehensive. I will let it scroll down slowly in case you just want to get some ideas. But really part of the assignment for this course is to have the agent create a cheat sheet for your use, for your project and your needs. So I will leave mine scrolling by. And he listens what we asked. He provided the copy command. He tells us what the purpose is, and he gives us some extra comments and tips. So this is a way that you can use a coding agent to help you learn things and then apply them for the next time directly. He's covering the daily loop, the branches, and why you would need branches, like I briefly explained in the introduction. A branch is a separate line of work. You make one per feature typically, or a common list of features together, and then you merge them back to the main branch, or master branch. Some people call it master. We can clearly see the push, the pull, the fetch, and how they work together. If people are interested, I will make this resource of my cheat sheet available as well as part of the course in Academy. We also explain how you can undo things with a little bit of a warning. Be careful before you do that, because at some point you really can't go back if you don't have a previous commit and a push. Are you looking at your history? A lot more comprehensive than what beginners need, but this does cover what you will need at some point. When you get stuck, the professional ways to resolve those situations. Okay, so I hope that helps you get started with Git. Git and GitHub can be scary for most people, but this should make it very easy. At any point in time, you can just tell the agent in plain English what you want to do now that you understand the basic principles of Git and GitHub and why you should even bother with it. It's very important to make sure you protect your source. So when you think you have this mastered, start the quiz on your own time and mark the lesson as complete. And then next time, we're going to go live on Vercel, how to publish your app to the world. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. One more thing. Let's actually demonstrate real quick. Commit and push. It's as simple as this. It's going to commit this change to our HTML documentation. It's going to push it up to our remote. Starting by looking at our status on the main branch. And then it's going to say commit the cheat sheet. And then it's going to add it. Just like you've learned. Now you could sync here, but he will do it for us. Pushed, 2 commits went up. And it's that simple.